Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, my dear friends. My goodness, look at you all. I am beyond delighted. What a This is more than a blast from the past. This is like a volcano of love exploding over me. Just all these faces and names, and heck, even the backgrounds of your videos are instantly bringing back memories. I was last in Vic in September and did not spend long enough because every street corner had 5 different memories attached. This was before I knew it was probably going to be my last visit there. Appreciated it differently. So here we are. Thanks all for coming, and just a couple minutes after 8 and technology being what it is, I'm sure there'll be a few more. So let's all take a moment just within ourselves, within our minds, and arrive from our day. It is so great to see y'all, says Jason in the chat, and totally echo. And yeah, before launching into that, I have so much gratitude for my brother Jason. Remember when I told him what was going on, offering how he could help. And Jason has a ton of gifts, and one of them is the ability to facilitate humans connecting on a bunch of levels. And this says, there's kind of 2 things I don't have a lot of, and that's time and energy. And Jason really saved the day on those fronts with helping this come together. Thanks, Emil, and they'll be helping out with the technical side of things as we go, and we'll just sort of chat back and forth slightly informally as things need to get attended to. Hi, Ben. So let's all arrive within ourselves. First and easiest, I'm sure some have already done it. Let us close our eyes. See what else we can close: our ears, our noses, skin. Notice hanging out as a speck of consciousness. Point of awareness inhabiting the field of reality. And notice what this does for your physiological function. When we take away a lot of that which is anything other than simply being, what that does with our breath. With our pattern of holding. With the experience of simply being a point of awareness without agenda. How we embody that. Inna matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Inna matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. That song meaning how right and how good it is when siblings of the spirit gather together. So there's a lot of folks, and I've been saying this a lot lately, my cup runneth over. I was thinking we would do 10 minutes for introductions, and given the turnout, that would be about 12 seconds per person. So, you know why. I am simply gonna open up the floor. If anyone has something that they really want to jump in with and add to the beginning, the introduction, the orientation, in a sense, co-construction of this evening, go ahead and unmute if that's something that we need Jason's help with, then that'll happen. And we'll take 10 shares or so of people who really want to contribute something off the bat in terms of creating this space. There'll be lots of opportunity to share personally later on.
Aaron,
Keely.
my friend, it's so good to see your face. And I'm blown away at the fact that you're putting this together at this time and bringing us all together. My first response was, what a remarkable human being. And you have always been so. And I am so deeply inspired and thankful. Thank you for being in all of our lives, Aaron.
Thanks for that reflection. You're welcome.
I guess this is an introduction. So I'm Catherine or Keely, and I guess I met you. You're one of the first people I met when I was in Victoria. I don't remember exactly how we met. Maybe
Nor do
you
I.
do.
It's not jumping into my mind.
No, me either. But
many moons ago.
Yeah. And you were my acupuncturist and friend and wizard of all things, and you helped me, you helped my mother, you had the greatest parties, and yeah, that's my introduction.
Thanks. You did have some mighty fine parties. It's really been striking me, the folks who know me professionally, folks who know me personally. Venn diagram. And yeah, the reflections I've been getting, which I'm glad to say are not too wholly disparate. Nice to know I have a bit of integration in myself. Thanks for those shares. Anyone else? The next thing is I'm basically gonna talk about like what's up.
Yeah, I would love to jump in. I'm going to turn my video on for a moment. I am in the bath, so please excuse that.
Oh no, this is a bonus.
Okay, maybe it's working or not. I'm not sure. In any case,
Be a fundraiser now.
If you wish, Josh, just change your camera from Snap camera to your laptop camera.
Oh, that's what's going on. Okay, thank you. Perfect. There we are. Okay, awesome. Appropriate. Nice. Okay.
That is still pretty fundraiser, man. That's dope.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Aaron, it was really lovely to just have that song, you know, is just I felt like a precious moment, like it was just, you know, right there with a friend, you know. Yeah, I remember distinctly, I sought Aaron out. There was a thing called Bass Lounge back in the day. And I remember reading over the practitioners and offerings, and I was like, okay, there's this guy who's into Kung Fu and acupuncture and, you know, like all these things. I'm like, oh my God, like I need to talk to this guy. I need to, you know, find out more. And yeah, it turned into a pretty quick friendship, and some trades of services, and got some mind-blowing acupuncture treatments that have led me to just recently graduate from acupuncture. So Aaron, yeah, I'm super thankful for your impact in my life as a friend, as a mentor, as a brother, in so many different capacities and so many experiences. It's been an honor, you know, always an honor. And I know that, yeah, you know, in those moments of need, you'll still be there to guide me along the way. And I'm definitely thankful for that.
Thanks, brother.
Lots.
It has really been a. Say that again.
God, love you lots. Yeah.
I love you lots too. It's been a long and fruitful road we've walked. Yeah, it's really, yeah, been special for me. All the ways the phenomenon of Josh Schmidt has and continues to rise in my world. So it's a blessing. Thank you.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, go for it, Raz.
Okay. Yeah, hey everyone. I'm Raz, and I met Aaron a couple of years ago. I think it was 5 years ago or so. And we mostly sat together in like men's circle that Aaron was facilitating. And it's been just really meaningful and powerful experiences. I think at the time I was just trying to find myself, and one thing I've always been appreciative of is just Aaron's wisdom. I think it was just something that was really helpful to make sense of my own life, and just be able to hear a lot of just reflections that have been really meaningful to move forward in my life, in my relationships. There's just a lot of good memories, a lot of moments. And as Josh said, I think there was, I saw him as a brother, but also as a mentor and someone I could just rely on if I needed anything. So Aaron has just had an open home and open heart, and that's something that's been really inspiring for me. So, yeah, for that.
Thank you, Elsa. You're welcome. We had a really pretty amazing bit of men's group magic last night. I resurrected it in Rossland, where I now live. And we had our first meeting in a while yesterday. And one guy last minute couldn't make it. And I was telling the story as we were doing our check-in of my dear friend Andrew, who lives on the coast, and how tomorrow, i.e. today, July 18th, would be the 4-year anniversary of when I picked up Andrew in the U-Haul and we drove across the province, transferring my life from the coast to the Kootenays, making that big shift, a whole new chapter. 4 years ago today, I arrived in the Kootenays. And I was telling that story, mentioning Andrew's name. Who should call? Just talk. And I was like, hey man, we're actually just starting the men's group, but this one guy couldn't show up. So do you want to just like join via speakerphone? He's like, sure. So one of my oldest, dearest friends just happened to arrive in the men's group. And we still use the same cards, we still use the same format. It was really good. And I hope it keeps going there in Victoria. But maybe I'll talk with someone afterwards about that. I haven't seen much lately about it. So, haven't seen much lately. I haven't posted an update. I keep kind of waiting for things to be settled and perfect, and realizing that Wabi Sabi is now one of my great friends. Perfection is the enemy of good. And it's got to get things out there. So, one of the outcomes of not posting a whole bunch is that not everyone's on the same page with my situation. So I'm going to give a brief overview to kind of contextualize this time we're spending. So I have, according to Western science, stage 4 metastasized colorectal cancer. It's very serious business. There's no stage beyond 4. And metastasized means it has left its original abode and has spread to various places. And mine has spread to various places with more or less consequence. After some kind of intense but basically manageable, I wasn't able to work, but I wasn't dying either. Situation over the winter, decided to do a bit of a Hail Mary, get a final surgery remove the accumulation of tumor that had been messing up my digestion and really keeping me from properly nourishing myself, i.e., eating the way I knew I needed to eat, or taking supplements to support cancer therapy, things like that. Is I had a partial bowel obstruction. So I got the surgery for the partial bowel obstruction mid-April, and it went perfectly, without a hitch, no complications. The obstruction was removed, and after a couple of weeks of just surgical recovery, my digestion became perfect. I was able to eat as much of anything I wanted, and thought, all right, I'm on the road, going to start chemo in a little bit. I feel very confident about my ability to meet this, given my ability to nourish myself, take medicines, do practices, all of this. And then things started to change. And first I developed mysterious loose stools that nothing would rectify. In the midst of that, I went for a routine blood test and found that my kidney function had tanked and was actually in like a life-threatening state. And the doctor said, "Oh, you need to go to the hospital like right away, get this checked out." So I did. Turned out one of the tumors was pressing mechanically on the ureters. These are the tubes that carry urine from the kidney to the bladder. So my kidneys were getting mechanically backed up. They themselves were fine. It was just tumor fuckery. So we put in some stents to bypass said fuckery, and my kidneys started working again. So that was good. Pretty much as soon as my kidneys started working again, I started developing recurrence of the bowel obstruction. Started getting hard for things to pass. And this was psychologically very difficult. Bowel obstructions had nearly killed me 3 times before, and this felt very similar. And there were no more surgical options, sort of third time's the charm. So I dove in with every ounce of knowledge, intuition, practice, outside help I could muster to try to change this very dynamic, not knowing what half a day would bring after the next situation. And I would apply everything. Someone is playing bagpipes outside the hospital. I would put everything I had towards fixing this given symptom or rectifying what was going on, and often it would be successful. I'd hit on the right combo of Chinese herbs and breathing practices, things would start moving. And I was elated. And I'd say, "My God, I figured it out." And then the next day, it wouldn't work anymore, or something new had shown up. And the devastation, just the emotional collapse of it all having been for naught. And this went on and on for weeks. I hit my suffering limit a couple times. Learned that giving up is a state you can go in and out of. Was barely living. And one day developed this strange new pain and decided that I was going to throw in the towel of independent care. So checked myself into the ER. Was there for 20 hours. Much of which was in the hallway. My bed was adjacent to the nurse's desk. It was madness. So got the pain treated, got an x-ray, and that was about the last, some of you saw me for a bit. And I was like, all right, turns out there's one tumor causing this problem. It ain't so bad. We can deal with this. I was still very, very clinging to hope. And a few days later, I woke up in excruciating abdominal pain and vomited up about a half liter of stool, which is a trip. Not as horrible as you might think. I'd give it like a 3 on the horribleness scale. Relatively brief. But I sat back. And it was like this tidal wave, tsunami came over me. I said, okay, I get it. My body is packing it in. I accept this. I spent all day yesterday doing everything I could. This happens. I'm done. I pushed off from the bank and decided to float downstream. Blessedly, I threw up a bunch more stool that day, about 1.5 liters in total. And it massively decompressed my bowels, which led to them being virtually painless for the better part of a month. And the cancer, which had been so dynamic, also seemed to just, as far as I can tell, really, really slow down. So I've had a month of essentially knowing that I'm dead. Having pretty solid physical capacity. And half a lifetime of practice with which to process this rather unique phenomenon in which I find myself. And it's honestly been like a blessing beyond something I ever knew I could have wanted. This experience of human-ing has been so rich. On so many levels. And it's this great paradox, you know, like I wouldn't be feeling like this if I weren't dying. And now that I feel like this, I really don't want to die. But the doctors say, and I have no reason to disagree with them, 10%. And I'm going with that. I know that if I clung, it would just be madness and misery again, a desperation. And so much grace has shown up, which I look forward to sharing some stories of. That's about all I have to say for the orientation. Tia, you want to share something?
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, lovely.
Really good to see you. And I couldn't believe it when you said it'd been 4 years since you left Victoria, which means that I haven't seen you probably since before that time at some point. And yeah, it's really good to see you, and also to just be together with all of the people, all of you that are here. And I just, yeah, I feel so humbled and inspired by your openness and your willingness to share this fragile and kind of liminal transitional time for you. It's so,
Good word.
you know, deeply moving for you to share so openly, Aaron, and I really appreciate that. And you know, bow down to you for all those practices that you have engaged in for so long, and they're holding you up and supporting you right now, and through that supporting all of us as well. So again, just the such deep gratitude for you for sharing yourself right now. And I guess in the introduction, I just want to say where I met you. Of course, I remember you and Siobhan coming to Kirtan at the Base Lounge probably 10, 12 years ago now. And I didn't know you and Siobhan at the time, but I just like this beautiful couple that would come sit right near the front, and we're so keen and participatory, and just kind of, you both had a special light. You were so in love with each other at the time, and you just both glowed. And I was, yeah, I just sort of had a crush on both of you, you know, and the energy that you had together. And I remember you were Harmony's kind of friend or connection, and eventually we met. And I got to know you a little bit better. I think we went to see Krishna Das. We did a little road trip to Vancouver together and stayed at the hostel. And
Oh yeah, the army base there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Was
So I got to know you. Yeah, it was. But that was really fun. And there was, one thing I just, really the parties that Catherine before said, really enjoyed those. And I remember visiting with you and Siobhan there, and just always being struck by both of you, but your generosity of heart, and just your generosity of spirit and heart. And here it is, it's showing up right here. So I appreciate you, and I love you for who you are. Thank you so much. Yeah, for being you.
Thanks for those reflections, Tia. You know, on the subject of practices, like, there's nothing that special about me. I just had really good fortune in finding teachers at the right time in my life. Blessedly quite young, and blessedly at times when I was very impressionable. It's sheer good fortune that I have this foundation of practice for this to land on. And anyone can find and cultivate that and bring this, I believe. Yeah, thanks for the reflection on the generosity of spirit. It's certainly what I'm trying to do during this time. I feel that talking about death and dying is really good medicine, and can all use it. And for some reason, I seem to be a pretty good focal point for these conversations right now. Wobbly ass table. Does anyone have practical questions about my health sitch? Hey.
Virginia has her hand up to share if you like, Aaron.
Oh yes, I missed that. Virginia, hi.
Hi, Aaron. Really good to see you.
Same. Been smiling to see you on the gallery there.
I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to share how I met you and your impact on my life. I'm not going to repeat everything that Tia said. This really, all of what she said resonates with me. And I know you professionally and you're my mentor. I don't know if you remember how we met, but I was coming to Hema for an acupuncture, and the practitioner that I was seeing was not there, and I ended up seeing you. You had a cold and you were really sniffly. I was really not impressed. And I left and I said, I'm never seeing this guy again. And then I needed acupuncture again, and nobody else was available. So begrudgingly, I booked another session with you.
Okay.
And then I felt like you're doing so much more than just acupuncture. I think you were using your Chinese medicine gifts alongside of what was happening, and you were putting the needles without even looking. You had your eyes closed and you would go boom, and the needle would go on. And I started feeling much better. And then after a while, I asked you if you have a private practice, and you did. And I started seeing you in your Chinese medicine practitioner capacity. And so you helped me through a very hard time in my life. I was going through a very hard breakup. But also you taught me so much about, just different practices that I still do to this day. All the bringing down the heavens and the Tao Te Ching that you lended me, your generosity of heart. And I don't think you ever expected to see this book back. I did give it back. I have bought this book for numerous other people, thanks to you. You also taught me so much acupressure. Every time I touch an acupressure point on myself, I think of you. And you were my mentor for a number of years as well. And so what you've done for me has touched not only my life, but I try to spread what I know to other people. And I'm very grateful that you're in my life in this capacity. So lots of love. Thank you for being you.
Thank you so much, Virginia. You were
Thank you, Aaron. Yeah.
Having you as a student was really rewarding. And I learned a lot about being a teacher and a mentor through our relationship. It brought a lot. And I'm just delighted that it continues to branch off, and we never know how many ripples each ripple makes. So,
Yeah.
destiny and legacy, mysterious things. And thanks for doing your part. I did not create these traditions, so the more that they live by being shared, the more honor to those who did. So
I see some more hands up if you like, Aaron.
yeah, I'm looking at that.
Okay.
I did not keep track of the order in which hands went up. Do you have any way to help with that, Jay?
Zoom does that. Come on up, Brianna.
Hi, sister.
Hello. So good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, Aaron, wow. Such a powerful, magical creature you are. I met Aaron in Nelson, and we bonded over medical Qigong. I had been studying for a bit, and it was being integrated into my life a bit more. And Aaron was super supportive of my gifts and coming to me for sessions. And we bonded over berry picking and other nature adventures.
That's right. Remember when we saw the bear bee?
The bear bee?
That freaking bee that was like that big, and the flowers would like fall over when it landed on them.
Oh my goodness.
Highlight for me.
I wanted to say what I just thought was so amazing about you in the whole process I was going through with my studies, with my challenges that I was overcoming studying medical Qigong. And I was just like blown away when having these big challenges, and in conversation you were just able to like come out with a verse from the Tao Te Ching. Well, this reminds me of verse 27, when the when the teacher doesn't care for their student, or when the student doesn't have respect for the teacher, then trouble will ensue. And I don't know the verse, like, but you were able to bring it out verbatim, and I was just like, this guy is a genius. How does he just,
Oh, he had
bring
shitty
this out?
teachers too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he knows that verse.
I'm just constantly amazed by you and the wisdom that you're able to share with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Brianna. It's been really awesome watching you grow. You're one of the most dedicated practitioners of the art that I've met. Like the self-sacrifices you've done, a lot of people would have decided it was not their destiny. But you, I think, see that like it is yours, and it is yours to be hard won, because that is sometimes the kind of medicine person we end up being.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing me.
Jose. Hi, brother.
Hello. How are you, buddy?
It's a question with a long answer.
It's rhetorical.
Good to
I
see
think you remember we met at Landmark, like many people here.
Yes, very much
And
so.
I can't remember if it was our SELP or during my SLP, but I will always remember the commitment to healing that you had for the world and others. It was always amazing. And remember that we were exploring the possibility that was going to help you with your marketing and your website, and the passion that you had for healing and your commitment was so big that the website was secondary. Everything was going to fall into place, and we never worked together.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and I just love your energy so much. I wanted to not miss this because, like you said, the ripples. And I know that your commitment and the power that you've had, I didn't want to miss this for anything. And I want to say, hi, friend, brother, goodbye, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose.
You've done amazing work, and the ripples will continue.
You're a good man. I really appreciate you sharing that.
Much love, and thank you so much.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom.
Many, many blessings. All right. We have
Aaron.
Dan. Hello.
Aaron.
Dan.
Let's move this window off here.
I like how you're digging your facial hair these days.
My COVID look. Well, like Jose, I also met you at Landmark. I can't even remember the last time I saw you. I think it must have been like 10 years.
2012 was the last time I was involved in Landmark, so that would track.
The one thing when I think of you, what sticks out for me is at the end of a seminar, maybe the first one I was in with you, I don't know how many we were in together. And we had the chance to go around and acknowledge people for just whatever. Maybe even it was the chance to create the acknowledgement in the moment. May have been. I can't remember the exact practice. And you came up to me, and it may have been, I don't know if it was at the beginning or what you said. I think it was, you said something, and then you said, "You're funny."
Okay.
I just love the way you said that. It wasn't like, because it wasn't me trying to be like hilarious. I think, yeah. But I think, yeah, just the way I am and the way I present myself and the way I speak. I think people find humorous. Like, I know I'm different. I am on the, as I've discovered in my adult life, I am on the autism spectrum. So yeah, my brain works in a different way, and I think people relate to that. Yeah, I just remember, yeah. It's funny, that's what I remember. Just the way you said it, I thought it was funny. The way you said you're funny.
I have a memory of it as well. There was something I saw and spoke to there in that moment. I'm glad that it really landed. Thanks for sharing it and represencing it.
You're welcome. And yeah.
I've always experienced you.
I'm glad I get the chance to got the chance to see you again.
Likewise, Ben. You're a just profoundly good-hearted man. And I've seen that in pretty much every interaction. I really admire how much you just show up for community and for basic decency in how people relate with each other. Thanks for being in the world.
Peace, brother.
Peace. iPhone 12.
It's Island Girl.
Island girl.
As Lu Feng used to call me.
Yes.
She's an island girl now, living it up on Salt Spring Island. So I've lived up to my Lu Feng oracle of being an island girl. And
Mazel tov, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you.
I worked really hard to avoid getting a Liu Feng nickname, and I never did.
Wow.
Yeah. He never
Right.
called me like Crohn's disease guy or Jewish guy or whatever. It's pretty good.
Aaron, I just have so many fond memories of you and I just like in school and class learning together, and so many nights of you taking, like bringing me back to your home up by Summit Hill and having tea parties and philosophical chats until the late night and going for walks in that amazing park. And I feel like you were my Jewish brother and like one of the few people in that class that I really related to on a deeper friend level. And I'm so grateful for our friendship and that. And it's been a long time, 2011, I think. I was looking back on our thread and I was like, wow, it's crazy how time can just pass. And I'm so grateful for all the moments, and even the harder reflections that you shared with me also, have their, I've seen their merit as well. And
All came out of respect.
Yeah. And I
can give you a hug.
Aww. Miss you. Love you. And thanks for being you. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Hopefully not too soon on certain planes.
That's right.
May all have long life, because being incarnate in a body is a pretty great gift.
Yeah,
I'm real happy for you. Shambhu.
Brother. Oh. Oh, I really do. And I always have. I've seen you as an immortal. And how I feel you as an immortal is you've hit the sweet spot between the irreverent and the reverent. And just how many times have I experienced you're crazy and you're wise all together. And
I love it. I am writing that down. Thank you.
I believe you've attained a state of Ishwar Pranidhan, which is a surrender to God. And
Ishvara Pranidhana.
Yeah. Your pronunciation was always better than mine. So
Ishvara Pranidhana. Yeah. It was, what's fucked up and weird? When the very first inklings that something wasn't quite right with my body a year and change ago started, I was in an online YTT writing a course paper about karma. So there we go.
There we go. Wow. No. Of no surprise. Of just no. And someone said liminal. And I've always experienced you because both of us we split our lives between this and the world already. And I've always felt you there in the firing range and in the playground in both realms. And yeah, I seek the capacity to always spend time together as we do and as we have. Yeah, my immortal brother.
Oh, here's to more visits on those realms.
Yes.
Thanks for presencing all that, Shambu.
Yeah.
Yeah, being human.
Wow.
There's a lot.
And I've been thinking a lot about, that there have been many great masters, enlightened ones that actually bought a short-term ticket, a shorter-term ticket for this realm. And it's so important to strike it from the mind, the idea of success and failure, when so many who are even greater than, who are great saints and beings, that they have an agenda beyond the conscious mind that takes them in different places, different realms, sooner than us attached egoic beings would want. So I see you, Aaron, and I love you so much.
Destiny is really mysterious. And what is a measure of years, right? What are we measuring?
If it's the amount of time that we've consciously appreciated, then I'd say you've lived to be about 160.
It crammed a lot of life. Crammed a lot of life into these 4 decades. There's very little mundanity. Yeah. And, a brave friend of mine asked me, no one has, except me, for years. Given that I've been dealing with fairly serious health stuff since I was like 9 years old. They said, did I expect to live out a normal lifespan? And the answer has been no. I've sort of hoped to, but it's made a lot of sense, given that this little body of mine has been struggling pretty hard for 3/4 of its existence. That just some parts would wear down. It makes sense. And I think there's always been a certain carpe diem, bull by the horns, that's come from that.
I've seen that, brother.
Death can be a tremendous enlivener.
I feel more alive just talking to you. That is absolutely
Good.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Thank you for this time. Yeah. And for Yep. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, wild one.
Hello, dear friends.
Aaron. Aaron, Andrew, and I were talking
I'm
earlier today. And one of the things that we both remember really fondly is the time that you had us over for some of your Hanukkah celebration. And that was like really meaningful and really special and felt like such a gift to be able to experience something that was so meaningful to you. Yeah.
Thanks.
We also were talking earlier about how one of the things that we really deeply appreciate about you is your capacity for like being a deeply spiritual person on many levels of your life, and a person who, you know, really marries like the spirituality and the science in the world. And then also that, so you really have a capacity to be in these spiritual realms. And then you also have this amazing capacity to be super grounded and have both feet on, you know, here on like very logical, like scientific, analytical world in a way that is like, I think really needed in our world right now, like marrying both of those experiences. And I really respect the way that you're able to hold both of those things. And, you know, I think that it takes a certain amount of courage in community, in the world of science and logic to be spiritual, in community to sometimes be scientific and logical in the face of like spiritual, you know, like I think that like marrying all of those pieces and bringing those together the way that you do is really meaningful. And that's one of my like reflections of you as a person, is your ability to marry those things and to hold both of those. Yeah. And I really appreciate that about you. And I find that there's a lot of value in that. Yeah.
Well, Johnny, you know what I would say. I was homeschooled. She was homeschooled too, so we bond about that.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we kind of shared space and dance floors for many years before we actually like initially sort of connected and talked to each other. And I think for years I was just like, oh, he's just another one of them close talking hippie guys, you know. It's gonna look me in the eye a little too long, like. And then you know, I forget which of our mutual friends' ridiculous notions we first ranted on together, but
yes. Like, okay.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I
I
knows
remember
what's up.
Yeah, my whole perception of you shifted, and I was like, oh, this guy can rant. This guy can rant with the best of them. And yeah, like Hannah said, you somehow like managed to marry that deep spirituality and like being grounded in the here and now, and like the rules of the world that we all inhabit, and within that kind of like rationality and logic, like yeah, like saying like marrying kind of like rationality and logic with like community spirit and mindedness and like consideration for your fellow man is like, it's hard to find things in one person.
I'm all bashful.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna miss fighting that fight with you.
Yeah, that really livened up my soul in a really consistent way. That business we get up to. Yeah, that was a cherished silver lining out of that deeply traumatic experience that happened in 2017.
Yeah.
Formed such a solid net of community, care, security, and yeah, new appreciation for the people in my world. Same. Thanks for presencing that.
We love you.
Yeah, man.
I love you guys too very much. I feel like we're, yeah, got this special bond.
Thanks, friend. Yeah. And thanks for sharing so much with us. It's really meaningful.
I'm glad. Much becomes clear. time keeps on ticking, and there's a lot of people, and that's, I wouldn't have it any other way. And how are we going to manage this?
Aaron, shall we pull up some people and just invite them to share with some brevity?
Yeah, let us.
There's a number of people that still want to connect with you.
Yeah, we have 4 shares, so that's great. We'll do that, and then we'll flip it over to Q&A. We'll do a couple of those, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Okay, looks like someone dropped. Laura, I didn't feel it was super needed, so okay. All right. Sierra.
Hi,
Anybody
Aaron.
used to play those Sierra games, King's Quest and all that?
No,
No.
I didn't.
There's just this way this little digitized voice would go, Sierra.
I have to find that. Thanks.
Yeah, it's
Aaron,
all
I
early
just wanted to
90s.
pop on and wish you a good trip when you leave.
Thank you. I can't hear you super well.
Oh, I'll type my message to you instead.
As you wish. Okay.
Okay. Somebody else can talk to you with their face.
Sierra, if you go into audio settings, you can turn up your mic input volume if you wish.
Yeah, there should be a way around this.
I got the message about time though, so I think I'll just. And Aaron, yeah, I'll just type my message. Thanks. I just wanted to wish Aaron a good trip.
Thank you so much, Sierra. And I'm sorry for the confusion there. Master Magic Media.
Master Aaron, it's been way too long, man.
God damn, I didn't even recognize you.
Way too long, bro. Yeah, I
Yes, but that
grew
voice.
some fuzz. I grew some fuzz.
It's like, well, it's like that episode of Beavis and Butthead where they want beards, so they trim off their top hair and glue it onto their chins.
That's what happened to my side hairs. I just
Yeah,
put it on the
exactly.
chin.
Get a little horse paste.
Oh man, I mean, I'm just trying to look cool because I have a 6-year-old now,
Mission
and
accomplished.
yeah, he's getting to that age that if dad's not cool, he doesn't want to hang out with me. So, just trying to keep up.
Yep.
But I'm so new to everything that's been unfolding in your world because I'm not on Facebook, and so here we are. And holy shit, dude! So there was a fucking flip of the coin between the human realm and the spirit world, and the spirit world won you because you're the greatest Jedi there ever was.
Does kind of feel that way.
Dude, I mean, so many epic moments cross through my mind of journeys we've taken together, epic quests we have had in many of forests, on many magical medicines. Yeah, I mean, I would say the journeys we've taken have prepared you for what is coming in the next stage of where you're going. And yeah, brother, you're such a powerful human. And clearly you're being upgraded so that you can go be of service in the life after life, because that's where you're going to be needed. And I'm a little bit pissed. We didn't get another adventure together, that we didn't get to do more breath work while poking people with needles. and doing sound healing all at the same time.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Such magic. Such magic
So
we brought.
much, so much magic, man. So much magic. I can't believe it's been so long.
It's really like there is something remarkable that has kind of descended into me this last little bit. And it is this like profound joie de vivre, this great appreciation of the simple fact of existence. And it like, I can evoke it any moment. And it spills out of my chest and like suddenly everything's okay. And it can presence when other people are here. And all of a sudden I simply just like know what to do and what they need and the things to say. I've been doing some of the purest medicine of my life this past month or so. And it really is, like you said, this cosmic flip the coin. And dropping fighting. Letting be what is. This profound surrender opened up something. And into the space that was created came, yeah, the most pure medicine I've ever done. Just really, really direct interaction with a person's soul, regardless of technique or what have you. Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
It is. And it's very
Thanks.
evocative of these mysterious explorations that you and I did. And I mean, shit, man, it was you who took that photo, my profile photo of me sitting looking over the hills smoking the pipe.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought so.
that's
I'm
your
still
photo.
waiting for my royalties. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll gift it to you, I suppose. It's been so many years. The royalties are probably long expired.
Long expired. Well, I don't know. It's a very fine quality pipe.
There it is.
That's the
There's
one.
the one. Oh, what
Yep.
a day that was. Oh my gosh. You remember climbing down those tall trees down the side of the cliff? That was cool.
Yep. We had to really adventure at points there.
That was a good adventure. You were such like a, oh man, when you showed up that day, like you were like the wilderness guide. It was epic. You were totally my wilderness guide. I just come with like some snacks and that's about it. But you were.
Oh yeah, I
ready,
had the
man.
little pump water filter and everything.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
We could still be out there now surviving if we would have got lost. Well, we did get lost, but we would have stayed lost.
That's right.
Yeah,
because we could.
Yeah, man. And yeah, as everybody's reflected, man, you definitely you're the best healer I ever went to. You got some serious magic.
Thanks, Brad. I'm proud of my career.
You're a good man. You're a good man, brother. You inspired and touched a lot of people's hearts.
Same, brother.
Yeah.
Means a lot coming from you.
Oh, I love you, man. Yeah. Really grateful for the times we have had.
Good. All right.
Kick
Many
some ass
blessings.
out there, man. Kick some ass.
Thank you. And I'll see you.
Yeah.
Give my
Yeah.
best to the family.
I will. Big love, buddy. Nice to see you.
Kelly. Hi.
Hello, Aaron G. Nice to
Kelly
see
G.
you.
What a smile.
Oh, thank you for bravely gathering us all tonight. It's nice to see so many folks here. And
so cool, right?
It's neat. Yeah, it's neat that we can do this like this. Because I can't quite transport myself to the Kootenays right now, but I'd love to. And as you know, we go way back, Aaron, all the way to awkward high school days.
That's right.
Though my memories are not fully formed from those days, most of my memories of you are from Victoria. And as some folks have already mentioned, like bobbing in the front row of Kirtan are some of my first memories of you and reconnecting, I think. And and that Krishna Das concert that Tia was mentioning, and your house parties, and then a lot of time at Hema. And yeah,
we worked together a ton,
years and years.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful to have the cumulative experience of Aaron, little bits. And I feel like what I'm reflecting on tonight is what I'm feeling through being here, and after I spoke with you a couple of weeks ago and getting your update, and some of these memories is just this sense of calm that I feel when I'm with you, and I feel like you ripple out. We're talking a lot about ripples tonight. People are talking about, I mean, there were so many days at Hema where the clinic would just be nuts. And I feel like you would float in off your scooter and you would go into the room and you would do your thing, and there'd be so many people in there, and you would float out and give some sort of update and float back. And there was never a rushed or chaotic pace to it, even though I know there's many layers of what's going on. And yeah, so I'm steeping in your gift of surrender and acceptance, and your years of practice that have prepared you for this moment right now. And to share that with us is it's just an honor to be able to witness you in this. And yeah, thank you.
It was beautifully
Thank you for showing
articulated.
It's hard to find the words, but I'm grateful for you.
Thank you. And you're welcome for showing up. And yeah, I always took part of my role at Hema as being kind of like a priest making a temple space. Hi.
Here.
I am totally here. Yeah, stoked for the TPN anytime. Probably check my hydromorph schedule. Thanks, Emil.
Did you make your hydromorph at night?
No. No, why don't we do it ASAP, and then we'll throw it off as little as possible.
How are you feeling?
Is it 22? Let's rock it out. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks. Hospitals are places of constant interruption, and I'm astonished that that was the first. And I had something pithy to say. And I wonder if it will come back. Yeah, being like a priest creating a temple space was super important for me at Hema. Because, you know, the atmosphere is part of the medicine, right? And that's something I'm really seeing living here in the hospital. How much everything from lighting, which I brought in my own, to smells and soundscape and everything makes such a profound difference on our like foundational experience of life and therefore how we heal. There was something else in what you said that I wanted to respond to, but it flew out the door when the nurse opened it. Thank you. Many, many blessings, my old friend.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And Nikia. It's nice to see you.
Hi.
Hi.
It's good to see you, Erin. Hi. I'm feeling pretty emotional at the moment, so I'll probably keep it pretty short.
As you wish.
I don't know how to talk when I'm crying. I just really appreciate you.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I too met you as a patient. And then over time, I ended up working at or volunteering at HEMA and got to spend quite a bit of time with you. And you helped through a lot of hard, very deeply personal situations that I don't even think I knew what I was asking of you. And I don't even really know what you saw during those times, but I was very open to receiving, and I trusted you right off the bat. And thank you. Beyond experiencing moments of acupuncture and healing with you, I also had the pleasure of experiencing theater with you. And
those are great times.
So good.
I think I bought that velvet coat special for the opera.
Do you still have it?
Oh yeah. Still have occasion to bust it out once or twice a year.
As you should. So thank you for also playing with me and becoming my friend and sharing your really delicious bread with me. And
you know, I'm giving away sourdough starters.
Oh, really? Could you send one in the mail?
Yeah.
I would love that.
Okay.
I would take really good care of it.
Yeah, there's a little video up on my YouTube about them.
One thing, okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. One thing I remember very clearly at HEMA, it was a very short conversation, but for some reason it has kind of dictated my life a little bit. You were talking about how you had this decision in your earlier years, whether or not to pursue the arts or to pursue medicine and acupuncture. And maybe there was a bit of reluctance to follow medicine, but you knew in your heart that's what you were meant to do. I think we were talking that too at the opera, and I think about that a lot because I have tried so much to pursue the arts, and there's always been in the back of my mind the influence that I received in those treatments with you specifically. And I don't mean to be crying because it's actually a really cool thing. But I'm going into school for acupuncture, and it's largely because of the belief I have in it from you. And I'm so grateful that even though we have been so distant for so long, that little nudge has been very present with me every day. So lots of love for you. Thanks for helping me decide.
Good.
Yeah.
I will happily give you some of my textbooks and tools if you wish.
Thank you.
We can have
I
a
would greatly
one-on-one about
receive.
that.
Okay.
Happy to pass some of that on. Mazel
Thanks,
tov.
Aaron. It's really, really good to see you. And you don't really come across as ill.
I know, it's weird, right? Well,
Pretty weird.
I can stand up and show you my various scars and tubes sticking out of my belly if you wish. I won't, it's gross. But yeah, I don't seem like a stage 4 cancer person. And again, practice is every day, regardless. And just like just what life is. What life is has come so clear that I feel 100 times more alive now than I did a month ago, when I was fighting tooth and nail for it every moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the last topic, which is open it up to a dance with death, a waltz, my long years of serenade,
Yeah.
and whosoever had the curiosity.
Well, I just said there's relief in this surrender.
Profound.
Thanks, Anikia.
Glad you're going out dancing.
So, noting that this is about the time that we said we'd be wrapping up, so anybody who has a thing, do your thing. And anybody who wants to stick around for the Q&A, I am very available and think I may have one or two things that are pithy to say. Chris.
There we go. You can hear me?
Yes.
So I have 3 logistical questions for you and 1 personal question. You can have them in any order you'd like.
Okay, I may forget them by the time we get to the end.
Okay. Well, I'll start with the non-logistical first. I've been trying to figure this out for years, but I don't have memories of when we met. I only have a slew of memories you're in for a really long time, and I can't pinpoint where they started. And I was just curious if you knew.
I am not 100% certain where we met either. It may have been through Jason.
Possible.
He may have connected us when I was starting the Sanctum and you were doing your business consulting, seeing us being somewhat like-minded souls.
I thought it was through the dance parties, but it could have been through anything. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can just live with that. I have a whole bunch of places that you exist in my mind in. So,
I'll take it.
So the logistical questions are somewhat personal, and if I just want to put out there that if you
open book, just
okay.
ask me whatever. I have no stakes.
Okay.
I'm dying.
Okay. Do you currently have adequate pain control?
Yes. Blessedly.
Great. Do you have people who are gardening, guardianing, and receiving your remaining choices?
Say that again?
Do you have people that are caring for and receiving the choices you have that remain?
Do I have people who are carrying and receiving the choices I have that remain?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I follow the question.
Maybe I'm not asking it clearly. It was a big thing as what you and I talked a fair amount while my father was dying last month, and something I came to know is that if a person is surrounded by others in grief, that can lead to others projecting their needs on the person who is dying. And I just wanted to know that you've got somebody who's on your side in your close circle that's listening for the choices you have and showing up for you to ensure that you're getting your choices.
I certainly would say so. The doctors are very, very on board, very receptive to everything I have to say about my dose, changing thereof. My family are fairly intelligent and fierce advocates. I have hired a professional health advocate if the need arises. Yeah, I'm pretty dedicated to this going well and not being supine in the care I receive, because I've had enough medical fuck ups and negligence that I know it's common enough place without pretty robust self-advocacy.
That's great to hear.
Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, and I got one more here is, do you have someone who's receiving your grief, any regrets you might have, and any unfinished business?
I have a really good counselor, so that helps. And I'm just having a lot of conversations with important people in my life, clearing up what karmic threads I can.
That's great.
It is actually. And something about this state of, grace that I find myself in has made it really easy to, I don't know, give people space, notice their actual needs, not be bothered by their stuff. It's been a lot of relationship healing.
I'm really grateful to hear that you have that.
Thank you. I know that each is a blessing.
Yeah. If at any time you need to unburden yourself of something, you can feel free to contact me at any time.
I know, you're a good man that way.
Even if it's a silly thing, I would take a silly thing too.
One Spanish Inquisition coming right up.
Oh, excellent.
Keely.
Okay, I have a list, but to keep it brief.
Okay. And I
First.
see your question, Cedar.
Do you have a favorite recipe that I can make and think of you every time I do?
Oh my goodness, a favorite recipe. That. Hmm.
You can think
Well,
about that if you wish.
Well, if I were to want anyone to take something of mine and make it, it would be my turmeric date sourdough challah, which is sort of my signature creation. It's a bread. It is one of the best things that many people have ever eaten.
I would be honored, and I think many people probably in this group would be honored if you would share that with us, please.
Okay. You just need a sourdough starter.
That was one of my lists. Can you ship one to Germany?
I'm sure as hell try.
I actually have been wanting to start making my own sourdough bread for the last couple of years, and you just got that started. So if that ends up working, to send it all the way here.
Yeah, I'll do what I can. I mean, honestly, it won't be my special Lazarus starter, but in Europe, it is often the tradition that if you go into a small locally owned bakery and ask for a sourdough starter, they like have to give you theirs.
I didn't know that. I'll have to ask around. But I don't know. I would rather have an Aaron starter than any bakery here starter.
Love it. Yeah, I will look into shipping sourdough starter to Germany.
Thank you.
Hi.
That's a match for you.
Yes, you do.
Would you want to
Sure.
call me when
No,
you're...
no, it's all good. We can multitask.
Okay.
I'm out to get poked and prodded a bit.
Yeah. I'm just helping Ivy out.
Thanks. Aught else? Oh, thank you, Melissa. Yes, I do make delicious risotto as well.
I have a few more, but I can keep, you can keep going if you wish.
Well, rock out a couple more and then we'll get to Cedar and then I think we'll start wrapping up.
Okay. What are the most inspiring habits or thoughts or things that have made you into the man that you are, that inspires us all to be here and have touched so many souls? What made you, in your opinion, the man that you are today?
That's a big one.
I know. But you've always been so good at taking big concepts and putting it into one small, good little present. So I know that question is not too big for you.
Oh, thank you.
I have the dilaudid that I'll start with.
Great.
So that one is in your right thigh.
Yes.
Okay. Can you quickly just tell me your last name here? And
Actually, the dilaudid is in my left.
oh yeah, the dex is in your right.
Yeah.
The dilaudid is in your left, and the octreotide is in your right. Yes.
December 11th, 1981.
Okay. So where?
God. The again, Partly it is just luck. Partly I was simply graced with finding really good teachers at just the right junctures when their teachings and their medicine landed perfectly, gave me what I needed at that time. And then I was just a sponge, you know, like a thirsty little spiritual, I don't know, my one teacher called me young Skywalker for many years. If you'd met my father, you would know how apt the whole thing was. And honestly, that's a big part of it. Like, you know, a lot of people here don't know, like, the profound wounds that have informed my wounded medicine person archetype. First and foremost, centering around my father. So, you know, suffering is not necessary for growth, nor does suffering necessarily lead to growth. But as my one teacher put it, shit makes really good compost. And suffering well related with and having medicine brought to it can be some of the greatest grist for the mill that there is. So there's that. Another really important maxim is that the only person who heals is me. I only heal one person, and that is myself. I only ever have. If someone is new and calls themselves a healer, okay, maybe they haven't encountered the teaching. If someone's been doing this a long time and calls themselves a healer, I would say be very skeptical. They've probably encountered this teaching and have chosen a different way. When we decide that we heal people, that way madness lies. A, it deprives them of their own agency. They did not heal. We used our magic ability to do something to them that healed them. They are a relatively inert actor. So where's their growth, you know? Where's their learning in this? We deprive them of it philosophically. Also, when we heal someone, we are almost invariably attached to the outcome. It is psychologically vital. And this especially is for folks who are going into the field. It is psychologically vital to be unattached to your patient's outcomes. Do your best. Bring the medicine with as much skill as possible. Join the person in their world with the medicine as much as possible so they can really understand and relate with it. All your job is to bring the medicine. Their job is to take it, get related with it, and then maybe through that process, they heal. Through things that happen on their end. Or they don't. And that is irrespective of the skill with which you brought the medicine. There is absolutely agency and responsibility on the part of the person who's come to you for help. Because if they get better, you are Superman and you can do anything. You healed this person. And if they don't, you failed. And then we start to become attached to the outcome. we start to not look at what's happening objectively. We have our hopes and dreams pinned to our own ego on whether something's getting better or getting worse. And then we're not even relating with our patient and their situation accurately. And everything's a mess. Those are some bits that I have for you as some maxims that have really served me. And your professional practice is an extension of your personal. Meaning how well you're doing with your own meditation, qigong, sleep hygiene, whatever, will manifest in how well you can be a medicine person.
Thanks, Aaron. I was wondering, because this is a quick one, do you have a favorite book?
Thank you. If I had to, off the top of my head, I would simply say the Silmarillion.
Silmarillion?
The Silmarillion. The vast, opaque, semi-biblical tome that is the precursor to the Lord of the Rings. It's I derive tremendous joy from the simple, not simple, but from simply the words and the way that they're used. I find the world that it invokes somewhere that is really deep and primal, comfortable to hang out in. Yeah, I can get lost instantly in the Silmarillion and come away with a lot of beauty and depth.
Thank you. And I have one last question, please, if I may.
Please.
What could we do for you to carry on your memory? Something that we could do or be or create for you.
Good.
That you would be happy to see in the world.
There are two concrete legacies that I'm working on. The first is the Aaron Banfield Memorial TCM Fund Scholarship. And this is a system of financial support. Eligible are students going into Chinese medicine who are entering the field because TCM transformed their life and they wish to share this gift with others. As the kind of practitioner I was, Chinese medicine transformed my life when I was 19, 20 years old. And due to those experiences, I stepped on the path. And due to those experiences, I had the kind of path I had on it. And I would very, very much like to support someone who, again, has that archetype in pursuing that dream. So as of right now, anything residual in the GoFundMe after expenses is going to get rolled over to start the memorial scholarship. And then there will be ways to support it ongoingly as a way to keep my memory alive. There's a very particular piece of artwork that will be attached to it and that the recipient will be obliged to display along with the bios of people who've had the scholarship and the piece of art before them. So it becomes something of a living legacy of practitioners is the idea. There's that. And smaller, more local, kind of miraculously, day before yesterday, the defunct chapel in the hospital where I basically live was opened up to the public after being basically a storage nothing room for years. And I have this dream as one of my very final things to enroll the local, everything from First Nations to artists to yoga teachers, to create a modern, active, dedicated, sacred space within the hospital. And I would love for putting that together, because it's just an empty room right now with an incredible piece of stained glass. Non-denominational, just shows the 4 seasons. Because by God, if there's one thing hospitals need, it's some temple vibe. And I see this timing as pretty unavoidable. It's something that really intersects with my my interests and even my current experience of the space. So, best way to support my family, myself, and my dreams of immortality is to just type my name into GoFundMe and make a donation. I printed off a bunch of how to be sick, my facetious health advice little fridge poster. Got 100 of those printed up, and if you donate more than $18, you'll get one. I think they're pretty funny. And then keep tuned for my actual memorial website, which I'm just redoing aaronbanfield.com as. So that's simply a work in progress right now, and you'll know when it's up. I'll have lots of ways to contribute memories and media and see what's ongoingly happening.
Thank you, Aaron.
There'll be my funeral shortly after I die, and there'll be my celebration of life about a month after that. And I have no idea. My body's fading, but not super quick. But you'll know. You'll know when it's ramping up. You know, it's this paradox, right? This beautiful, rich experience of life wouldn't be happening without this looming death. This looming death has made life so beautiful that I really don't want to be done. So, striving for timelessness. Fullness, richness. And you all have given me such an evening. Thank you. I have this idea that I call the Die Happy soup. It's a big old pot. Has a bunch of ingredients. Taste it. Say, all right, it's getting close. Needs a little more mystical nature experience. Needs a little more sorting something out with my difficult family member. This needs a little more triumph. And eventually you taste it, and your Die Happy soup tastes good. And you say, all right, I can die happy now. And tonight was a really nice ingredient. Added a lot of beautiful flavor. So, thank you, everyone. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Is there anything I've missed? My mind is slightly distractible. Anyone feeling left out?
I'd like to show something fun and random.
Yes. Oh, and I see Cedar's question, which I do not want to neglect. I'm going to pop in with that, Jay, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Aaron, if you're up for it, only if you're up for it.
Well, how about narrow it down a teeny bit?
Yeah, as much as you need to.
Tell me more about which particular aspect of practice you are most curious about.
I'm just so blown away that you're able to continue your practice in the midst of what you're going through. I have a little bit of a sense of what you're going through, but hard to imagine, so. And it's a curiosity question, and you've expressed so much about that conveys your practice. I don't want to take any more energy.
It's a great question.
Whatever you feel to share. And thank you so much, Aaron. So appreciative of who you are and that you've done this. So much grace and poise and courage. What a beautiful human. And what a blessing, like at this time, to be giving so much to your community. It's just super touching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is all I want to be doing right now is contributing. Well, it's funny. I was talking with my rabbi this morning about how kind of distracted, in a sense, I've been. And she kind of nailed it down as like, I'm walking this fine line of drivenness and surrender. That I have this like profound need to put things out in the world, to ensure that this wisdom that seems to have popped into me is being experienced. Because again, I take no credit for it. I didn't plan this, but I acknowledge its uniqueness and feel that it's a gift that needs sharing. Yeah, this drivenness to share and just give as much good experience and whatever this medicine of this time is as possible, with what fundamentally made this time possible, which was like letting go of having anything happen. Turn off the mind, relax, and float down the stream. It is dying. So, Beatles. So this time is full of paradoxes. And one of them I've decided to articulate as to go to death with as much aliveness as possible. To have as much vitality in my cells in each moment of experiencing as I am able. Not to get better, not to kill the cancer, not to make my intestines start working again. If these miracles happen, I'm open to them, but it's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on simply what makes me most alive feeling in the moment. And that is such an in the moment practice, so spontaneous, so sometimes surprising. That it's required a constancy in a sense. A constancy of check-in, of response, and of like asserting my validity of needs, I guess, which is something that I feel comes up, a lot as an insight that people have, especially around retreats and ceremony, that like it's okay to speak what you need in a given moment, be it silence and stillness or being really irrational. Spontaneous in the moment practice that comes from checking in with myself has been really big during this time, but also like diligence. I don't go to sleep without journaling some. I don't look at my phone without a particular prayer being said, just to be sure that my days have, from the beginning of my experience, holiness and presence built in. My Ashtanga practice is humbling as all get out right now. So, hell of a thing to watch yourself lose your body. But the chi flows, the breathing, the bandhas, that's all there. And it brings me right home. Yoga is fundamentally a practice of the mind. And when it is sort of necessarily so, I have found there to be a real purification in my relationship with it. And then there are new practices that have shown up, as I think I have one foot on the other side. There's a lot more communion with spirit beings. And that's been really, really neat. It's always been a favorite part of my spirituality. Not something often talked about, not something we have a lot of vocabulary for, something that has really become very much on the forefront, and it's fucking super thrilling and has made a big difference in my actual on the ground relationships as well, with insights I've had. And that took some bravery, in deciding to do a few little leaps of faith in my meditations. But the most important thing is just consistency over the years. You're not going to get a diagnosis of stage 4 colorectal cancer that's in your fucking liver and kidneys and shit. And you're like, oh boy, I better start meditating. Okay, I'm good now. No, this is doing it while your family fell apart. It's doing it while your business fell apart, while your marriage fell apart. This is having an anchor. And, you know, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. And people ask me how to be in this state with death. And I say honestly, it's the fruits of half a lifetime of practice and a pretty significant amount of psychedelics. Credit where due. So you can certainly try to shortcut if you do find yourself in a palliative situation. Get some insights there. One of the best things I ever did in my career was guide a dying woman's first psilocybin journey. It was one time, and I know she went to her death a much, much more peaceful version of herself. Yeah, that's what I have to say about practice right now. Well, it's 10:15. My energy's held up real well, and very cognizant of it being, you know, time also being a commitment we make to each other. So I'm going to say you know what? I'm going to say, unless someone was to jam up their hand, that we'll just start wrapping up. You can go ahead and unmute yourselves and just sort of popcorn out some words of love and gratitude, or, you know, curses and vitriol if that's more your style.
Hey, Banfield. Did you take any of the gummy bears?
Not today.
Okay, just curious.
I'm glad you made it on.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out for some reason.
That sucks.
Zoom. I know. Well, I got quite a good chunk of beautiful words. That's pretty lovely. Thank you.
I'm glad. Y'all don't know Kelly Spillay. She's one of my Kootenai friends, and well, predates my Victoria time as well. So you're a bookend in my life. You're a brilliant artist. Cafe Fantastico has hosted your work sometimes. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I got to share space with you in this time.
Your crystals are super charged up.
good.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything?
Okay, I'm going to take us in a slightly different direction for one quick second.
Those were the days, my
Yay!
friend.
Oh,
We
it
thought
stopped.
they'd
It's
never
over.
end.
There's more. Why did it stop?
Poocher down.
You overwhelmed the awesomeness button.
Ah, story of my life. I remember
I'm
that night.
honored to have provided the soundtrack for that clip, which is
Yes, you
immortalized.
did.
Time.
Yes, Steph.
Yeah,
That's
I will
right,
never
thank you.
never forget you.
Thank you. Likewise. You have such a unique, radiant energy.
And you too. And yeah, I'm just sending you so much love. And I hope to be able to play for you on the other side.
Deal. Thank you, Stefan.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Jay. Yeah. So many fond memories of the Victoria dance scene. My God. I'd be a different person without all that.
As would we.
Mm-hmm. Well. I have no idea how long I have. I have no idea what one day will bring to the next. There may be more events. I am certainly moving towards a more yin state. My body's starting to tell me that, you know, cramming life full of awesome experiences is the phase that is leaving, and now it's time to make sure that the soup has its ingredients, the really necessary ones, the ones that aren't the most like fun to put in, but the ones that make it a nutritious and complete meal. And also my own personal practice, really being called toward a lot more inwardness and stillness. There's a lot to digest. That said, I hang out a lot. I have a really nice guest suite here in the hospital. And if any of you find yourself swinging by the Kootenays, pretty awesome to see you. And otherwise, like, just dropping me a line, I tend to be pretty in the flow rather than scheduled with talking in hangouts, because it was just getting too stressful to book everything. I mean, that was like just telling the important people in my life the news was about a 40-hour project with conversations. So I just want to say, like, this isn't goodbye in all likelihood. Reach out if you want to talk. And if this is perfectly adequate and sufficient, then it is too. And I'll be posting up updates as it goes, both about my own health and about like the Sacred Space Project and just random sillinesses as well. I made a whole bunch of those over the past couple weeks, and I'm just going to populate my YouTube channel with things that are fun.
In
And
case you all didn't catch it, I put Aaron's YouTube channel in the chat here, along with the Indiegogo campaign page.
thanks a mil, Jason. Yeah. The fundraiser was the first, like, I never really knew how I was seen, received, thought of, remembered. Well, the response to that fundraiser was like, okay, there's a lot of stock in this soup. It's pretty ludicrous, the response that came, and it is, for myself and for my family, made all the difference in the world in our ability to just hang out with each other and not have to worry. Like, money doesn't do everything, but god damn, a certain amount of it gives you peace of mind. So thank you everyone who contributed and still does. There's still lots that we can be putting those money towards. And fundamentally, like, I've just had so much love and so much joy with every face on the screen in so many different contexts, and I just drink it up. And I do encourage that for you, my friends. Like, so much of my richness of life is because I'm like, well, this might be the last time I do this. There's a mindset there that we can be brought, that can be brought to almost anything, so that we make the choice to do something more mindfully, to take that extra depth in a conversation, to follow up on something someone said, to eat a more interesting version of what we were going to make. You know, it is so easy to enrich every moment's experience of life. We simply need to remember that they're unique and they're precious. Every moment of life is like a person. It can be treated with like the greatest appreciation and reverence. And then when we get to the end, what is there to look back on but just these brilliant sparks? It's all this beauty that we've filled our life with. All that's there in memories. What it means to be alive. And that's It's my hope for my death. My goal is to have the best death possible. And this has gone a long way. Thank you, Victoria community. 12 goddamn years. You'll all never know how much you've meant to me. All my brothers and sisters. Many, many blessings. All right. How are recordings of this going to be available, Jason?
I'll send it to you and perhaps you'll throw it up on your YouTube channel.
Works for me.
Aaron, is there some fun thing we could all do together to close?
Singing together on Zoom doesn't work.
No, it's just horrible, but awesome. If it's really slow, it works.
Jeez. Fun thing for us all to do together. All right, well. A lot of us know each other through Kirtan and stuff like that. So this is sort of apropos. This is just what came to my head because it's sort of fun. So it's call and response. People who identify as women, people identify as male, singing. And the only words are hallelujah. So, first, all the women go, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. And then stand up or just get big and go, hallelujah. All the guys now, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. The women go, hallelujah. Guys, hallelujah. Women, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Everyone together, hallelujah. We'll try it.
All right, everybody unmute your microphones. So Aaron, you're going to call and...
I'm going to lead along all the women. All right. So it goes, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And then, you know what? It already completely fell apart because singing on Zoom doesn't work.
It's working perfectly.
We all do it. It's great around a table after the Passover Seder, I promise. I don't know. There was some jollity that raised the mood. Mission accomplished.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Meow, 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 meow.
Love you.
Hallelujah.
My cats are enchanted by this entire scenario. They're
Good.
really close next to me.
Fantastic.
They like the noises coming out of this.
There we are. All
Love
right,
you,
friends.
Aaron, love you.
Love
Yes.
you.
I love
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love
Love
you.
you, love you, love you,
We
love
love
you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you.
Love you.
Love you.
That was beautiful. Let's make a remix. Right.
Good
Goodbye, my
night.
dear friends.
Blessings.
Bye.
Blessings. Don't be
Everybody.
strange.
Many blessings.
Wow.
Bye. Much love.
Very inspiring.
Have a good night.
Sleep well.
Night.
Sleep peacefully.
Love you, love you, love you,
Humans,
love you, love you, love you, love you.
Renegade humans.